What it do, YouTube? It's your boy Lo, back with another video. And today, bro, we got a special guest, my baby girl, my little one, Nalia, is going to react to this video with me today. We got top 10 best new spring 2021 animes. Nalia, what you think going to be on here? You don't know? Mama, you got to say something, love. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and get into this video and we're gonna see exactly what's on the list.
Which is you would probably enjoy. Some are easy picks for those lists, while others I judge based on the premise or what I know of the source material. Now, looking back at this season though, I realized that there's been some really good stuff that I missed out on when I went through the seasonal list at first glance. So this is what this video's for. Now that we have most of the season in the books, it's pretty interesting to go back and look at the pre-season video to compare the listed shows. There have been some big hits and some big misses for sure. So today, we'll be going over what I think ended up being the season's top 10 anime. I won't be including remakes or sequels though, so you won't be seeing stuff like Shaman King in there. But before we begin, I'd like to encourage you to give the video a like, hit that subscribe button, and turn on your notifications so that you can be first in the line next time I upload a video. Done? Okay, right, let's get on with the list. We start off with rom-com or samake. Admittedly, this show is something that I overlooked a bit during the pre-season. However, the voice actor list got me, featuring some of my favorite names in the industry who are ironically all close friends who've worked together immensely. They've been through a lot, kinda like the characters in the actual show. With a title that outright says the childhood friend won't lose, the show feels like some kind of self-aware rom-com. It ends up being some sort of revenge story rom-com that I don't think that we see that often. The premise is really good, and I think that the characters all have chemistry with one another, either because of the writing or the execution, since the voices behind the characters have so much chemistry already. I really dig the cutesy art style and the color palettes in this one. It's just perfect for a show like this, and I feel that it helped make the show a lot more entertaining than it seemed at first. The show won't blow anyone's minds, but it's a decent pickup for the season, especially if you're one who likes rom-coms. Ninth on the list is Combatants Will...
I think that one right there is probably going to be... It seems like it's more of a something Nia will watch or you will watch, something like that. I wouldn't watch it, but...
Be dispatched.
しょうもない。そこまで言うのなら本気の呪いを見せてあげる。偉大なるゼノリス様。この彼氏持ちに災いを。チャンスの角に足をぶつけた激痛を味わうがいい。
Okay, so listen to this. You've got an obnoxious protagonist who looks like he's had enough of life on an adventure. Besides the straight-laced blonde girl he's with, our protagonist is joined by an ambitious captain of the guard, a dark mage, and a chimera with Chinibyo tendencies. If it sounds like some sort of Konosuba love child, you're absolutely correct, as it's from the same creator. From an anecdotal standpoint, it seems that when it comes to fantasy, the same core of archetypes and personalities to form that specific 4 or 5 person party has proven to work excellently. I mean, you do see shades of it in the core cast of Ari Fioretta. Princess Connect had something resembling it too. They all differ in execution, and for Combatants Will Be Dispatched, that comes in the form of some tactical warfare gimmicks and a heavy focus on lewd comedy. If you're up for something like Konosuba and want more of the laughs and the degeneracy from it, Combatants should be part of your watch list, no question. At number...
I feel like it's too many girls in that one. I feel like I'll be mad because every time I watch it, I feel like it'll be too much drama going on and me not understanding it at all.
But hey, we take a look at Shadow's House.
Oh, she creepy.
Shadow's House is an interesting show. Before the season started, I praised its overall ambiance and its Victorian-era backdrop. I felt that we're due for another creepy gothic anime, and so far, I think that my expectations for Shadow's House have been met. The mysteries are great, and I had my ample fill of
because, like, stuff I like Attack on Titans.
I mean, it is like Attack on Titans. I feel like this is going to be more gruesome if the way it's looking.
From this anime, and while I wouldn't put Shadow's House as anime of the season candidate, I think that Cloverworks has done an overall excellent job in bringing the series to life. Seriously, it just does such a good job at captivating the audience with those eerie supernatural elements and the overall cinematography. You get drawn into the mystery of the Shadow's House, and like a spectre, the anime just doesn't let you go once it's in your grasp. I can't wait to see more with each passing episode, and as more questions appear with everyone that gets answered. If you're like me and are looking for something chilly and mysterious, this season has this great anime for you.
Alright, then we back.
7th in line is Don't Toy With Me, Miss Nagatoro.
Okay, I saw a little bit of this, but it's cool. It's different. I don't know.
It's a
more
show
of
that I braced
high school
myself for
thing.
early on in the season, but surprisingly, the reception towards Nagatoro has been pretty tame. I admit that seeing Nagatoro's smug face for the first few episodes was quite addictive, and I think that in terms of the production side of things, the show is serviceable. The acting's great, and I think that the art is just right for a show like this. I can't help but feel sorry for the poor guy though. The show's been getting a steady increase in its fan base through the anime adaptation, and I think that a lot of it has to do with the characters and their antics. We've seen the bullying turning into romance thing before. Still, I don't think that makes it a bad show. If you're looking for a rom-com with that premise, Nagatoro should suffice in giving you your fill for the season. Number 6 on the list is Higahiro.
家事もできるし愛想もいいなのになんで家出してはるばる東京まで来ちまったんだろうな
Here's another winner that I admittedly overlooked before the season started. I mean, I figured that the premise might not be everyone's cup of tea, but after watching the first few eps and reading some of the source material, I'd say that Higahiro is one of the best romances that we have this season. I'd also
that's
say
why,
that you
'cause
should give the
it's a
show a
romance.
chance
That's why
because
you
when
don't
you
wanna
do,
watch it.
it does shine in a lot of ways. It seems the
Mama
past
will
few
watch it.
years, the parent-child
Mama will watch
dynamic
it.
in anime has
That-
been
that's
gaining
very
some
true.
momentum. Despite the premise possibly setting off some red flags, I don't find anything too questionable about the series. Yep, there's some minor fan service in there, but come on. Are we still piling about fan service in anime in this day and age? Especially when things like Eromanga Sensei exist and make whatever fan service in Higahiro seem like child's play. To be completely honest, Higahiro is a very wholesome series filled with dramatic moments about relationships and taking responsibilities. Higahiro reminds me of those self-help shows like Tomozaki or Oregairu, and if you want something like that but with a parental relationship element, Higahiro is the show for you. Next in line is Eden Zero.
Eden Zero, is this the one with the... Yeah.
For all the memes and jokes made about Mashima's character design decisions and such, Eden Zero has proved to be a pretty cool show that deserves to be one of the top anime of the season. It's still early, but it's providing ample entertainment for me, especially as a fan of Fairy Tail. I'd have the
I haven't
Fairy Tail
seen it,
comparisons
but
to
I
end with
have
that
seen, like, a
statement
lot
because I
of,
feel that Eden Zero deserves to stand on its own as a quirky, fun adventure. With how hit or miss the studio's been the past few years,
commercial
JC Staff
film.
has done a pretty
Or
good job at
ad,
adapting the series. I didn't notice some index tier rushing or One Punch Man 2 tier animation. I'd say that Eden Zero is not exactly the most unique anime out there, but it doesn't need to be. The tropes are there, the usual Mashima hero things are there, the shonen cliches are there, but are they automatically bad? I'd say no, especially if you can put them on a light-hearted and easygoing adventure like this one. Eden Zero knows what it is, and it instead focuses its efforts on giving the fans of the genre exactly what they want.
Bink, got your point.
From a
86.
personal perspective,
Okay, yeah.
86 is one of my most anticipated shows before the start of the season. It felt like a breath of fresh air for action light novels. Casual watchers would probably be hooked by mandatory waifu character Lina, the edgy feel that the trailer exudes, or the mecha and military elements.
So,
It's-
Mama, have you ever seen Gundam Wings? So this is more of a not so modern like robot build. These are more like suits, but they're not mobile suits.
seemed to be a
That's what these
renaissance of the
basically are.
mecha
It's like
genre
a
in the
tactical
modern
game.
era. Does 86 manage to revive mecha into the mainstream? Well, not really. However, what it does provide is an excellent story that I feel perfectly fits the current state of the times. I don't really want to go too political, but when looking at the content of 86, it does have those undertones hidden underneath the gripping story of hardship and perseverance. It has a lot to do with the status quo and the class differences between citizens, some racial conflict, and some surprisingly deep ideas about military might in what at first glance could look like a seasonal popcorn flick.
Yeah,
That's
so
not even
basically
mentioning
Gundam Wing.
an amazing soundtrack presented by the legendary Hiroyuki Sawano. 86 is a winner for the season, and you should definitely check it out.
Oh yeah. Woo-woo.
When the
Come on, you
season
bumper,
started,
bing,
I
bing.
honestly didn't know what to expect from Vivi. It looked appealing enough, and I wanted to watch sci-fi, and it's done by the guys who gave us ReZero. But expectations were rather tempered when I look back. Well, it turns out that what we have here is a strong candidate for
so it's
anime
not
of the
fake
season.
news,
Just like
ReZero.
86 before it, I feel that Vivi has a bevy of strong themes, mostly to do with morals, politics, and the fight against fate. However, we all know casual watchers typically aren't immediately drawn to a series through those themes, right? So for that, Vivi has its spectacular visuals, amazing soundtrack, and a fast-paced execution of the story. It's very eye-catching to say the least, even having one of my favorite anime fights that feature female characters, and there's more on that on the other video that I'll be linking. Overall, I'd say that this anime is amazing. If you like sci-fi anime that's action-packed and way more than just your usual popcorn flick, give Vivi a shot. I know you're going to enjoy it.
But I'm tired.
Number 2 for our list is To Your Eternity.
Oh, okay.
Now, here's a show that was a no-brainer for inclusion to the pre-season list. It seems that everyone's hyped for the show, and what do you know? It didn't disappoint one bit. It's beautiful in so many ways. First, it's the art and the presentation. Second is how immersive and gripping of a journey it is from start to end. It's one of those shows that I like to call anime aspiring to become art, just like the feature-length films and stuff like Violet Evergarden. To Your Eternity succeeds in following the footsteps of those anime in evoking strong emotions and giving us an intricate look at the human experience. Feelings like joy, pain, sadness, and all the other things that make humanity what it is are well presented in this title, and it's a show that takes you along for the roller coaster of emotions. Now, I wouldn't say the show is flawless by the mere concept of my belief that there's nothing perfect. However, it does come very close to being one of those cinematic anime that people will eventually look back on with high regard. A unique premise done well in such a beautiful way is a recipe for anime of the season or even the year candidate. However, it somehow still doesn't make it to the first place.
Oh,
I feel
okay.
that To Your...
Okay, all right. So I've started watching this one a little bit. So the background on this one is that the little boy. Let me see if I can get an image of him. God dang. I can't. All right. Well, it'll show it in a minute. But it's a little boy. His girlfriend was killed. So he gets a time to go back to a gang that I guess this gang killed his girlfriend or his friend or whatever the case may be. And so now he's trying to get in with that gang so he can figure out who killed his girlfriend and then kill them. So he getting beat up.
Your
basically
Eternity
the whole
is
show
super narrowly edged out by my pick for this season, Tokyo Revengers.
I think it's his girlfriend.
Erased, Steins Gate, and ReZero fans rejoice. You found your successor in the whole
No,
time
it's not
travel
like,
genre, and it
Dead
ended
Man
up being
Wonderland.
just as great as those
It's not like
titles,
that.
context
This is
considered.
more
Prior
of
to the
like
season, I had
a
high
schoolyard
hopes for
bullying
Tokyo
thing.
Revengers, but this season. Now, while I wouldn't call it an underappreciated anime by any means, I do think that more people need to check out this show.
Kicked him right in the temple. I'm looking like the dude in the back right there.
There we have it. My top 10 picks for spring 2021. Do you agree with my picks or not?
It
Share your
depends
thoughts in the
where it's
comment.
All right. What do you think, Mama? What did you think of the video? It was all right. I mean, there's a couple of ones I would have switched, but I think number one was number one for a reason. It was a good anime. I haven't watched the whole thing, but it was pretty good. It was pretty decent. But guys, if y'all guys did enjoy this video, go ahead and leave me a like. Subscribe to the channel. If you want to see more of my daughter, comment below, and we'll get some more videos of her. On our videos when I do some. Also, let's try to get this video to, let's say 20 likes. Let's try to get it to 20 likes. But thank you guys for checking out this video. Without further ado, Lo is out. Peace.